It's the championship finale here in the Sunday Winter Cup Series at the Sim500 Esports Racing League. Alongside John Mush and I am Ben Kilcrease and Aaron Grosskopf. Going to be getting the picture that you see to you. Chad Coleman, Daniel Falkingham, Adam Gilliland, and Brian Macklin. John are the top four heading into tonight, and by the time we get through with the racing festivities and at the end of the 110 laps here from Las Vegas, we will have a champion in the Sunday Winter Cup Series. It's going to be one of those four drivers. Whoever finishes the highest of those four going to take home the championship. Here we are, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kind of a cookie cutter, John, but nonetheless, we've seen some great racing in the past here at Las Vegas, and I expect we'll see the same tonight.
Some multiple groove type racing indeed there, Ben, and watching qualifying, man, it's cloudy over that track right now, which will really affect some of these speeds, I do believe.
Certainly has. Just to give you a kind of an example of how much it is affecting the speeds, Chad Coleman, who's currently sits second on the qualifying chart, qualified with a 29.071. John, his fastest lap in practice was a 29.3. So the track has picked up, 2.5 tenths just in qualifying alone. Now Daniel Falkingham going to bump him out of that second position, move Coleman back to third, Falkingham up to second. Justin Fuller has a quick time as it sits right now. Adam Gilliland, one of the competitors here at Las Vegas as well, going to start inside the top four. Brian Macklin going to start sixth. So all the top four drivers heading into tonight, John, start inside the top six. I think we're in store for a good one here at Las Vegas tonight.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Chad Coleman, that's a name we have said so many times over the last few weeks, over multiple series, across multiple series, I should say. I look for good things from that young man tonight.
Absolutely. Coleman earlier today locked himself into the front row for the Trans Service Cup Series Monday Night Money. Daytona 250 coming up next Monday, so he's excited about that. The duels for that series is tomorrow live right here on the Sim Racing Network. Duel 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, Duel 2 at 9. So here we go, John, as we get set to go racing here at Las Vegas. 110 laps. We are definitely going to see fuel and tire strategy aplenty tonight here in Viva Las Vegas, and we're really excited to see how it's going to shape up and how this Final Four is going to all handle not only the changing track conditions, but each other's strategy as well. Set to go racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So glad you've tuned in right here on the Sim Racing Network. Tonight's race is a part of SRN's Triple Threat Streaming. You can watch the race live on Facebook. Just head to facebook.com/the Sim Racing Network. Same with YouTube. Just put youtube.com/ in front of the Sim Racing Network, and you can watch on our Twitch as well, the Sim Racing Network _ on Twitch. Whatever platform you're watching on, be sure to give us a like or a follow or subscribe on that, and be active in the chat with us as well. Really looking forward to seeing what everyone thinks about the Final Four, and really looking forward to now running you through the starting lineup here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And let's do that now as Justin Fuller has sent quick time with a 29.049. He'll lead us to the green flag alongside Daniel Falkingham in that 39. That'll be row number 1.
Well, thank you very much. Well, we got Chad Coleman coming down there in third and inside of row 2 there, and we got Adam Gilliland in the 81 car on fourth.
Scott Simley will be inside of row number 3. There's John impersonates Elvis to the best of his ability here on the lineup, and Brian Macklin, the final of the Final Four, will roll off 6th.
Viva Las Vegas Doy would come in there in 7th place and inside of row 4, and thank you very much. We got David Comstock there, the 42 car, bringing in their 8th.
All right, so good thing is we're just one row away from completing the starting lineup. It'll be Josh Parker and Pedro Majica. That'll be row number 5, and rounding out the top 10. The rest of the field going to scroll across the bottom of your screen. So here we go. John getting set to go racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for 110 laps. Man, what are we going to see here tonight in these Cup cars?
Are we going to run this race? Oh, thank you very much. Elvis has left the building. Anyway, we're going to see some good racing, Ben. I'm hoping the sun pokes his head back out and heats his track up a little bit. Track temps during practice and qualifying were right around mid to high 80s, and it's already up to 99 degrees with that sun coming out. So that's going to slick the track up a little bit and really throw these guys a curveball compared to what they were just running in qualifying.
And it will. So here we go. The field rolling off. It's a big night for the Final Four. And we'll remind you that those Final Fours are Fockingham, Coleman, Gilliland, and Macklin as we get set to go racing here in Viva Las Vegas. Don't count out Justin Fuller.
Up, man. I'm just gonna stay Elvis mode for the whole race.
Justin Fuller going to lead us to the green flag in that number 17. He's looking to go to victory lane here at Las Vegas in the Winter Cup Series and kind of spoil the evening for one of the Final Four. He's not going to be able to win the championship by any means, but winning a race will certainly send him off into a perfect rhythm heading into the Trans-Service Cup Series starting next Monday, or starting tomorrow if you didn't make the top two in qualifying. So here we go. It's the season finale in the Winter Cup Series at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Fockingham versus Coleman versus Gilliland versus Macklin. One of those Final Four drivers will be a champion at the conclusion of this race. They stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. The season finale in the Winter Cup Series at Las Vegas is underway.
And green flag is out. That's a great start off there by the 17 of Fuller. We got him stacked up still, though, 2 by 2 behind him for second on back. Falkingham's put up a good fight down there on the inside line with Coleman, who's outside.
Coleman worked the bottom side in 1 and 2 for the Macklin a little loose over there in turn 2. That's a championship contender. He can't do that early on. And he's going to put himself in a 3-wide situation. So Macklin, for at least the time being, was right up there within the top 4. He'll fall back outside the top 5 now as the rest of the field works their way to complete lap number 1. It's led by Justin Fuller. Fuller leads the race. Fockingham leads the championship battle into turn number 1, and watch them all the way up to the safer barrier early on here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll see that line change over the course of this race. Lap 1 in the book, clean and green. Justin Fuller looking to lead lap 2 as well, and he's not slowing down anytime soon, it seems.
No, he's not. He's setting quite a pace out there, and we've already seen some guys, hitting that apron going down to 1 there and getting a little loose. You don't want to do that. That apron's not your friend, especially as these tires start to wear down there. The car will just get looser and looser. But, man, it was impressive. Look at that. We got 3-4 different lines right there through turns 1 and 2 looking back to the field.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the 23 of Josh Parker. He's in a battle with Scott Simley for what will be the 8th position. Simley was one of the drivers in the playoffs in this series. Didn't make the Final Four, but looking to maybe make some noise here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as they work off turn number 4. Simley going to let Parker have that position for the time being. Parker going to try and go up and work on the bumper of the 42 of Dave Comstock, and 1 in the wall. Yeah, I was just about to point that out. Not sure who it was. It looks to be the 51 of Nick Timms, and already contact with a safer barrier for Timms as he's trying to get regrouped, and luckily he kept the car straight. He pulls back down in the line, and the 51 going to continue to race off of turn number 4. Contact again, and through the grass goes Timms. A little hop skippity-doo down the front straightaway, and he's got some problems on the 51.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, that's, in the old days, I sound like a grandpa. A few months ago, that trip to the grass wouldn't have caused you any problems there, Ben, but with the new damage model they got coming out, with the new build, what was it, September it came out, I guess, a trip to the grass now causes just as much damage sometimes as the wall does.
And it does. So not only did he make contact on the wall, but he did the call it the hop skippity down the front stretch through the grass, and that'll do some damage as well. So Timms falls outside of the top 20. Early on here in Las Vegas, probably the best time of the race to have a problem like that, John, is early on like this, so you can regroup and recalculate and try and, get back into a rhythm, get that damage fixed early, under an early caution or under an early pit stop, and continue to move forward. Up front, here are the top 4. They are all tail to nose. Fockingham, Coleman, Gilliland and Macklin down into turn number 1, and they are all right there. Macklin's a little bit further back than the 3 in front, but he is coming in that number 30 machine, and Falkingham leads that charge. It's Justin Fuller out in front of the field as we are lap number 7 at Las Vegas.
Yeah, this has turned out to be a pretty nice little fight between our championship four, but like you said, Fuller's out front, kind of stinking it up a little bit. He's a little under a second right now. Just a tenth under a second, not even that really, 4/100ths of a second out in front of these guys, and continually pulling away. But I predict, Ben, that as this race progresses, that pace he set is going to cost him in the long run if this goes green all the way, and he will start seeing him slow up a little bit more than everybody behind him.
Absolutely. We'll watch over the course of the run how well that 17 is able to carry through the long run here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Looking good early on, though, for Justin Fuller. He completes lap 8 there. 110 laps here tonight, John. So almost an 11th of the way complete with tonight's event. And the battle on the racetrack now is between Coleman and Gilliland. Gilliland all over the bumper of that number 20 machine. Drivers complaining real hard to pass down in 1 and 2, John. If you get to the inside of somebody, it's real hard if there's somebody that can really work the outside groove on the outside of you. Real good passing opportunity down in 3 and 4. We'll see what Gilliland's able to do down in turn number 1 on the front stretch. Coleman's going to let him go early on. Good sportsmanlike move. There's the 81 up to second now in the championship battle, third in the race.
I think Coleman's thinking big picture there, Ben. He doesn't want to do anything risky, any kind of blocking or anything like that, and wind up costing himself the championship. Did we just lose Gilliland?
Gilliland, and he's back now, but having some internet connection issues for the 81 machine. That is not what you want to happen on championship night. Meanwhile, Coleman, who sits third down the championship battle, fourth in the race, is jeopardy of losing a position to Brian Macklin, and Macklin wills it off of turn 2. That car gets real sideways for the driver to number 30, and he had to chase it down the racetrack there for a brief moment. Now Macklin trying the middle to the high groove in 3 and 4, seeing if there's any grip up there. He finds some and gets a good run down the front stretch to continue to work on the rear bumper of the 20 of Coleman. Yeah,
but like I was saying before we lost Gilliland briefly for a second there, I think Coleman's just trying to play it smart, man. And, he knows big picture racing. He's got a long way to go. We're only lap 12 of 110, so it looks like this might go green for a little while there, Ben. So he's probably just trying to play it smart, take care of the car, take care of the tires, and try to be there at the end of this thing. You don't want to do anything to risk that. But look at that run Macklin gets. Real good run coming off before that time, going down to the trial. He's going to take that spot, I do believe.
Whoa, it was almost contact between the two there. Coleman not going to be as easy as he was with Gilliland, and Coleman did everything but scrape the outside safer barrier down in turn number 1 and 2. Really upset the 20, I do believe, that close call down the front stretch. Nonetheless, though, Macklin up to third as he works the top side down in 3 and 4. He's one of the only drivers we've seen kind of move up the racetrack down on that end of the speedway, John. And look at the run he's able to get off turn 4. It's a good 4-5 car lengths for Macklin, and he is on a mission. He's starting to reel in Gilliland, who is also starting to reel in Falkingham. So we're going to have a good battle for the championship here in just a second. Justin Fuller is out in front of the field by just over a second. Like I said, John, he's kind of sneaking up the field, but the good race is right behind him for that championship battle.
And I don't know what's going on with Coleman, but he's just lost 2 more spots, about to be 3 or 4 more by the time we get down to turn 1. I don't know if he's got some issues or, again, if he's just taking an easy big picture racing, but you said it, man. Macklin's on a move. In the meantime, up front of him, that fight for second spot on the race and the championship lead is getting hot and heavy between the 81 of Gilliland and the 39 of Falkingham there.
That it is, as keeping one eye on that battle, one eye on the 20 as he continues to just fall back through the field. He'll fall in behind Josh Parker, and that looks like he'll be scored 7th, I do believe, at the line this time by poor Chad Coleman. 8th, actually. So Coleman not having the run that he wanted early on, and John, he may be taking it easy, but he may have just also got out of the rhythm. We saw him almost getting to the wall in turn 1 and 2, and I know personally as a driver, if you slip up like that and make a mistake, it's real hard to get back into a rhythm. and sometimes you lose a couple spots because of it. Maybe that's what happened to Coleman. Just in front of him, David Comstock made the pass on Pedro Mejica. That puts Comstock up to 5th. Mejica back to 6th. Mejica was one of those drivers' favorite to make it to the Final Four. Did not. Had a great run all season long. He has been the class of the field in many cases, or one of the classes of the field. Has had a great run in the Sunday Winter Cup Series. He sits 6th so far in tonight. Josh Parker there in the 23 in that Trend Service Camaro. Oh boy, did Mejica have a big wiggle off turn 4 right in front of him. Didn't lose a lot of ground, but a close call nonetheless for the 90. Up front, Gilliland has taken the championship lead from Daniel Falkingham. A big moment here at Las Vegas.
And he's taking that lead, and now he's hunting down our leader. A lap ago, Fuller was out to almost a 1.3 second lead. Gilliland's right now this lap by 1.214. So it looks like he's got his sights set on that lead. He might be able to start pulling him in now. He's got a little bit of clean air between himself and Fuller, which might help the handling on his car. We're 19 laps into this thing, Ben. This is about the time we start seeing those tires start to give up a little bit, start getting slick. Our track temperature right now is 100 degrees. It was up to 103 a minute ago, but it's starting to come down because there's some cloud cover on the track. But still, those tires, they're going to start talking to these boys here shortly.
That they will. Not only are tires going to be an issue, but we're going to have to worry about fuel about 45 laps or so into this run. So we'll really have to see what driver makes what call when it comes down to pitting here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Gilliland loses more ground to Fuller out in front. Gilliland now losing ground also to the 39 of Falkingham and Brian Macklin, who are both kind of reeling him back in. Oh, Macklin, did he get the wall there? Maybe some contact for the 30 off turn 2.
And like I said, these tires are going to start giving up on these guys. Going to start watching themselves coming off these exits, especially turn 2 right there. It feels a lot like Texas, Ben, when you come off 2 here, especially if you come off at the wrong angle. That wall comes up really fast.
Yeah, just like at Texas, turn 2, a real hard left-hand turn, and just the same here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 3 and 4, similar to Texas as well, as a battle for the second in the championship standings. Heating up, Macklin to the inside of Falkingham, down in 3 and 4. He'll try and slide up the track, can't do it. Macklin is better on the top in 3 and 4, and Falkingham has taken the line away, and Comstock looking to kind of come in and spoil the party. Almost some contact again down the front straightaway with Macklin and another championship contender. They race side by side into one, and Adam Gilliland really liking what he sees in his mirror now as he's able to pull out a little bit further ahead of those 2 drivers behind him. Falkingham, for the time being, going to have that position. And Macklin, look at there, John, immediately back up to the top side where he's comfortable in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he likes that high groove there, Ben. Gets such a great run coming off there. Look at that. I mean, he pulled. We got a caution on track.
First caution of the day going to come out on lap number 22 to be exact here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And it's going to be, looks like, for Glenn Campbell in the number 44. Bringing it out for the first time. He has some contact with Bobby Terrell in the 5, putting us under caution for the first time. Campbell in the Office Depot, number 44, going around here for the first time, bringing out the caution on lap number 23. So that'll be the first caution of the day, and probably perfect timing for some of these drivers really looking to grab some fresh rubber on these NASCAR stock cars. Chad Coleman, we were talking about him. He still sits 8th, John, on that leaderboard, but hopefully we'll see if the new tires can kind of help him and help him get back up to the front after losing about 4 positions in a handful of laps in that run, about midway through that run, rather.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what happened with Chad there. Maybe it's like you said, he got real close to that wall. It might have just unnerved him a little bit. So he's going to take this time under caution to catch his breath, get some new tires on there, try to formulate a way, an attack plan possibly to get back up there and fight for this championship. He still has a long way to go, a long, long way to go. In the meantime, our leaders are on pit road, Ben, and this is where we've seen it time and time again throughout several series in the Sim 500. These guys cannot make mistakes on pit road. It has cost several people, wins and championships throughout different series with this group. So it's very important these guys do not make a mistake on pit road.
A mistake tonight on pit road could cost you the championship here in Las Vegas as we're a fifth of the way through this race. We'll see how everybody... Oh, and Gilliland, speaking of mistakes, the championship leader is having problems on pit road, and he finally is able to get into a stop, but that is going to be 10, 15 positions on track, easily, John, for that number 81. And oh my... championship implications. Look at everybody driving by the 81.
That is such a helpless feeling when that happens to you, Ben. I don't mean to laugh. I'm not making light of it in any way, shape, or form. I've done it so many times. It's really not funny.
Certainly not. Gilliland probably pounding the steering wheel at the moment.
Some choice, colorful words.
Yeah, frustrated. At that pit stop, Macklin had a little bit of trouble. He falls back, looks like 4 positions. He loses some spots to Comstock, Mahika, and Parker. Coleman will be right behind Macklin for this restart, and we'll wait for scoring to update. But Gilliland going to be outside the top 10, maybe outside the top 15 after that mistake on pit road for the gmercer.com number 81 Camaro.
Good news, Ben. We've seen these guys. They're capable of getting around this track without running over each other, which is good news. He still has 75 laps to get it done, 74, something like that, to get back up there and fight. So he'll be okay, especially if we have another quick caution or something like that. He might be able to go for a 2-tire stop or something like that.
14th for Gilliland, that scoring says. And Coleman able to gain a position there. He's up to 7th. Macklin will restart 6th. Daniel Falkingham will restart 2nd. Justin Fuller, the driver who we haven't really talked much about because he's been so far out in front of the field, will restart this race in that 1st position, looking very good in the number 17 as he has led since the drop of the green flag, has led every lap so far tonight here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. See Mark Creighton there in front of him looking to get a wave around. Is a little bit of right side damage to the number 80 machine. Brightly colored scheme for Creighton. He'll get waved around once the lights go off. TopDiRacing.com Ford Mustang Pace Car top 10. As they sit, it's Fuller, Falkingham, Comstock, Mahika, Parker. That's top 5. Macklin, Coleman, Simley, Keaton, and Vincent. That is the top 10. As we get set for the first restart of the night here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as doubling up for a restart as Justin Fuller going to lead us back to that green flag, and Daniel Falkingham going to lead the championship contenders back to the green flag outside of Fuller. Great looking paint scheme there on the 39, sporting the blue and the yellow for Falkingham. We mentioned it earlier in Daytona qualifying pole day, John. Some great paint schemes.
Yes.
Throughout the whole field here in the Sim 500, in the Sim 500 crew.
You gonna make it there, buddy?
I'm gonna make it. I really haven't been training my voice well for 2 broadcasts in one day over the course of the weekend, so getting a little hoarse, but nonetheless set to go. Yeah, sleep. Not really helping out a lot. So here we go, set to go back racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Justin Fuller, Falkingham, row number 1. The green flag is back in the air. We're back underway. Another great restart for Fuller, and the battle will be for 2nd as they race to turn 2.
I'll tell you what, they were bump drafting coming down through their Comstock, and I can't even see who that car is behind him, that yellow car there, but bump drafting in Vegas, who'd have funked that?
Who'd have thunk it? That's Josh Parker and the Trans Service Camaro number 23, sitting now fourth as Comstock is able to work his way up to second, looking for more. Here comes Parker looking to get to the inside of Falkingham for third.
Way down on the apron there. That's a dangerous place to be. See how loose that car got when he came back up. It's something I've never been a fan of here at Vegas. I don't like getting down on that apron. A lot of guys do, but to me, it's just too much of a risk to lose control of the vehicle. It gets so loose. But I tell you what, that fight for fourth is definitely heating up back there. Fuller wants it. Parker wants it, and I don't think Falkingham wants to give it up. And he's out there kind of in the middle of the high line there. He gets onto the wall just a little bit there. I saw some sparks coming off. Don't think it's going to hurt him too bad because he's not losing a whole lot of speed there. But it's going to give that 23 a little bit of a chance to peek on the inside there and possibly, if he can get a good run through there, take that spot. But no, 39 powers back on the outside. Falkingham still not wanting to give up that spot. In the meantime, behind these two, we've got Pedro Mejica in that 90 Ford Fusion. He's thinking about maybe poking his nose up in there and getting a piece of this action. And I'll tell you what, Coleman looks like he's probably going to have his hands full here shortly with the 7 car of Michael Keaton, Michael Batman Keaton, I should say. That's what my pet name is for him there. Keaton's kind of working his way up. Keaton started in the 12th spot. He's up to 8. Coleman started up in our top 3 earlier, but he had some problems. Almost got into the wall. Had to give up a few spots, and he's slowly chipping his way back in. He's one of our final 4. So you got Coleman there, working the 7th spot. Macklin in 6th. He's another one of our championship contenders. And then Falkingham's up there in 3rd. And it looks like Gilliland, after that horrible pit stop, has worked his way back up to 11th spot right now after starting, I believe it was 15th on that restart. We're going to take a 10-second break, folks, for our station identification. We'll be right back. And welcome back. And I'll tell you what, folks, we didn't miss a whole lot of action, but it is getting heated up down there. We were talking about Michael Batman Keaton with the break and how he was looking good there, making some room, but he got a little loose and slid back up the spots there. So meanwhile, back up front, looks like Fuller is continuing his domination of this race. He's out to a little bit over half a second behind him. We got Dave Comstock in 2nd place in that 42. Behind him, one of our first championship contender, Daniel Falkingham with 39. Behind him is Josh Parker in the 23 car. Josh, we hadn't talked much about him tonight. He started back there in 9th. He's worked his way up to 4th, and he's just kind of got a little bit of space between himself and Pedro Mejica back there in that 90 Ford Fusion. Pedro's got his hands full, mirror full, I should say, of the 81 car. Brian Macklin, another one of our championship contenders, and right behind Macklin we've got Gilliland. Nope, I'm sorry, move Gilliland up a little bit there. That's Gilliland in the 81, folks. I apologize for that. Welcome to the booth, our former producer and now the co-anchor of the show here, Mitch Rollo. How you doing, Mitch?
Doing all right, John. Ben having a little bit of technical difficulties on his side of things, so I'm going to join you up here and until he is able to get back up in the booth with you and then help you call this race.
Well, that's good to see you, man. You look like you had some fun in qualifying today.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the effort that we needed to get the 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Fusion on pole, but we'll go to the duels tomorrow night and get things done there.
Well, man, I look forward to watching you do some good out there on the track tomorrow night. In the meantime, I think Ben's come back from the restroom. You back, Ben? Okay, I could be mistaken on that. So in the meantime, back on track. Let's give you a quick top 10 rundown. Justin Fuller still leads this race. We got Comstock in the 42 in 2nd, Falkingham in 39 3rd, Josh Parker comes in 4th, Pedro Mejica 5th, Adam Gilliland, a championship contender, in 6th, Chad Coleman, another one. He's worked his way in the 7th there and kind of holding steady right there. Brian Macklin in the 30 car in 8th, Dwayne Vincent in 9th, and Michael, Mr. Keaton there in 10th place. Right now, things are pretty calm on track there, Mitch, but we should see some action here picking up pretty soon. We've been green now for, a handful of laps. The tires are still relatively fresh. Let's see, we've been green for almost 10 laps. We should start seeing some guys start mixing it up here soon.
Yeah, we should, John. lots of single file action all through the field right now. In fact, I don't really see a side-by-side battle anywhere on the track right now. And as you see back to the front here, Justin Fuller running away with this thing once again. So Fuller looking like he's got this field covered, John, but you never know. You see that 42 of David Comstock lurking back there, and you know he's always a threat to win these things.
Absolutely. Comstock is normally somebody we talk about saves his car, saves his tires, doesn't make really aggressive moves, but he's not in the championship hunt right now. All he wants to do right now is win this race. So he doesn't have to think big picture. He doesn't have to think, points. He just needs to think, how do I get up there and get past that guy that's up ahead of me in that 17 car? And I'm telling you what, he's pulled him in a little bit there. Last time by was half a second. Now it's down to 4/10. So just little by little, looks like he's picking him about a tenth of a lap there on him.
And looking back a little bit here in the field, John, I'm looking at this 30 car of Brian Macklin, and it looks like he's right on the tail of the 20 of Chad Coleman. I believe both of those guys going for the championship tonight, if I'm not mistaken, John.
Yeah, and they've already had a close call earlier tonight on track. They got into each other a little bit in 1 and 2, and that's how Coleman lost all his spots and wound up falling so far back from his starting spot of 3rd all the way back to, I think he was 9th at one point. He and Macklin got together, but maybe they'll be able to pass each other on the track this time without any incident. And it looks to be Macklin is so strong on that outside run coming through 3 and 4. He loves that middle to high groove there. He makes it work for him really good. Not so much down 1 and 2. I mean, he uses it up there, but he doesn't get quite the good run he does off of 3 and 4, which is unusual. That's not a usual line that folks like to run so early in the race down there to 3 and 4. I'm not a fan of it. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mitch. I'm not a fan of this track. I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've never really had the best results here myself, but back to what you're saying about that outside line for Macklin, the run that he got on that 20 of Chad Coleman was unbelievable the last lap around to get that pass in on him. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the outside work like that at Las Vegas, so it's a good thing that that Macklin has that line working, because he's going to be able to go somewhere with that. As you see, he's already pulled about 5 to 10 car lengths on that 20 car of Chad Coleman. So Macklin moving up to the field here.
All right, folks. Well, while we sit here and contemplate how Macklin is making that magic work up there in 3 and 4, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah. Arsenic, poison.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
For the lead, David Comstock all over the rear bumper of Justin Fuller. First time we've seen anyone challenge Fuller for the lead here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, working lap 47 of 110, and a challenge for the lead is heating up between the two out front. So glad you've tuned in with us tonight on the Sim Racing Network. Remember, if you're on Facebook or Twitter, get social with us. Head over to facebook.com/the Sim Racing Network. Give us a like and give us a follow over on Twitter at the SRN_. Meanwhile, it's Fuller, Comstock up front. Falkingham leads the championship battle for the time being. Josh Parker sits fourth, and fifth is Pedro Majica Gilliland right there behind in the mix as well.
I tell you what, we should probably go back to commercial for Comstock's sake, man. He was, while we were gone, he pulled up all that space onto the back bumper of the 17. The second we come back, he starts to fall off a little bit. I think he got just a little loose back there the lap that we came in from commercial. But he's pulled back up to that bumper bin. And like you said, he's the first person we've seen all race long to have anything for that 17 car. And we are definitely going to see a race for the lead here shortly.
Looks like a little bit of damage on the right side of Fuller's machine. So some contact in the race for Fuller as Comstock continues to just lurk right there, stalking his prey, looking low into one. Does Comstock in a challenge for the lead ongoing here at Las Vegas.
You know what that looked like? That looked like something from Days of Thunder where Trickle.
Whoa! Look out! Fuller in the wall again.
Got lost. He got loose, excuse me. And he definitely got in the wall that time. But what I was saying was that looked like a move out of Days of Thunder where he faked high and went low to make the pass there, because when Comstock went high to make the pass, it looked to me, I'm wrong, the 17 to a block, and that's when Comstock dove down the inside and brought the fight to him down there in 1 and 2. But he's got that lead now, and he is definitely pulling away after Fuller brushes the wall coming off the 2.
So Fuller gets into the wall, contact for the 17. That's, I'm not going to say that's going to end his race, but it's really going to affect the handling of that machine. You can maybe get away with it once, but twice in one race, and you're pretty much going to be along for the ride. As you can see, Falkingham and the rest of the field starting to reel in that 17 as well. Falkingham leads this 4-car pack. He's at the front, and at the back is Adam Gilliland, who has made a nice rebound after the incident on pit road. He's up to 6th, and not only is he up to 6th, but he is stalking the driver who he's racing for the championship right now. That's Daniel Falkingham. Just behind Gilliland is Brian Macklin. Just behind Macklin is Chad Coleman. So all 4 drivers still solidly within the top 10 here at Las Vegas. And boy, if it comes down to a late restart in this deal, John, we are going to have one heck of a championship battle.
Yeah, we are. I'll tell you what, we were touched on Macklin and his high line. I'll tell you what, though, this last time by, he got really close to the outside wall up in 1 and 2. So pressing his luck, looking for some more grip. I'm guessing, that because he's really starting to wiggle a lot. We've been green now for almost, I believe, 25 laps, it looks like. So these guys are back at that point, Ben, where these tires are going to start getting slick on them. And our track temp's up to 109 right now. Really slick.
Really slick, and almost a 3-wide situation there. And Fuller, boy, he has just got his hands full in the 17. He's sideways down the straightaway, the front straightaway. Sideways again in turn 2 is Fuller. So some major damage to that number 17. And, a big threat early on in this race continues to fade here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's outside of the top 10 come pit stop time due to that damage on the right side.
Really loose coming off the floor there. It looks like he's swatting at flies inside that cockpit the way his arm's moving around.
Yeah, I can guarantee you the toe is knocked out on that 17, and along with many other things, he's sideways again. He's going to lose the car if he's not careful, is Fuller. So bad break for Fuller after getting into the wall. He continues to slip, continues to fall through the field. Macklin will be the next driver that has to deal with the 17 machine, and Macklin just continuing to move higher and higher up the racetrack down in 3 and 4 there, John. It's really working for him. That's where he is most comfortable, in 3 and 4. Everybody else still around the bottom, but Macklin making that middle to high groove work down on that end of the racetrack. And speaking of being up high, Adam Gilliland over in turn number 2, John, he is all the way up by the safer barrier. He's the only one really in the field. A couple others go that high in 1 and 2, but not as much as Gilliland. And
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Macklin and Fuller got into each other back there. I thought we were going to see a wreck, but they kept each other, and they kept themselves straight, I should say. But there was definite contact there as Macklin was trying to make that pass.
And that's not what you wanted to see for a championship contender, having problems with another driver not in the championship battle. Nonetheless, though, Macklin doesn't look like it really affected that 30 machine. Maybe knocked him out of a rhythm for a lap or two as he's back down into 3 and 4 where he's comfortable. Not a lot of noticeable damage on the right side of that machine either, so he may have escaped pretty doggone easy there as he really had a handful of a turn number 4 there. Close call there. He almost took a trip through the grass.
Well, we're over 30 laps on these tires now, Ben, and the track temperature is steadily climbing. The sun's out. We got a track temp of 110. So you combine high track temps, greasy track with old tires, and what do you get? Ice skating.
Ice skating in the desert.
In the desert.
Is what you're going to get.
You know, all the money they spent building this track, you think someone would have thrown down a patch of grass or two outside the track, too? I'm just saying.
That's true.
It's so brown. Anyway, I'm sorry, folks. Y'all have to understand something. Ben brought me into the communications of this show, the show that we have here for you, because I am not funny. That's why he brought me.
I don't know if that was the main reason, but we was.
Wow, look at this pack of cars we got.
I was about to say, look at this great battle for the second position, rather. The fourth position battle is ongoing as well between Mahika and Gilliland, but it's Parker and Falkingham up at the front of this little group here, really going at it for that second position. Parker loses a little bit of ground over in 3 and 4. Mahika has to check up, as does Gilliland. Gilliland really just wants to get by the 2 in front of him so he can work on the 39 of Falkingham, who is really the only driver he cares about on track at the moment.
That's right. These two guys, I'm not going to say they don't matter to him, but that's not the position he's racing is for the lead of the championship, and that's 2 cars ahead of him. So here he is making his move down here underneath Mojica. He'll take that spot away, then he's going to set himself for the next spot up in front of him. Oh, washes up the track just a little bit there. Ben, I don't know what happened here, but Comstock is out to a 2-second lead. I mean, we thought Fuller was in here stinking the show up earlier. Look at Comstock out there now.
He's one of those drivers that's real silent at the beginning of the race, and come midway through, he really shows his muscle, and he's doing just that here at Las Vegas. I don't know. I've got a feeling that Falkingham may be saving a little bit in that 39 as well, but if you got anything left, I think now's the time to really put the power down if you're going to try and win this race, although he doesn't have to win the race. All he has to do is win the championship battle, and he's looking pretty good to do that right now, but he's got Gilliland closing in on him in that 81. He's got the 23 all over his bumper. Josh Parker doesn't care about the championship. Josh Parker cares about winning the race, and he's going to take out Falkingham sideways, Gilliland sideways. The 2 championship contenders are crashed, and Falkingham's in the wall, and now he's sideways coming up the racetrack. No caution here at Las Vegas. Championship implications. A huge, huge moment here at Las Vegas, and the caution finally waves. Oh my, I was just saying, John, Parker was racing for a win, and come on, you got to be a little bit considerate of your surroundings when you're not in something and the other guys around you are.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't know even where to start. Let me catch my breath, Ben. I'll get back to you on that, okay?
Falkingham in trouble with Gilliland. Gilliland has damage as well. Probably not as much as Falkingham. Falkingham took the real big hit there. Parker, damage with that one. Macklin very narrowly skates through. A big moment here in the championship run. The season finale at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And the top 2 championship contenders with damage and Falkingham. John, he is pretty much out of this race.
I was watching him trying to get back up on track. That's what brought the caution out. He was trying to get his car back on track, but he was caught in a very precarious spot right there, right as you exit pit road, right at the the entrance of turn 1. where the embankment comes down onto the apron. He was stuck there and was trying to get his car going and couldn't, and that's what brought the caution out. But you're right, Ben, that car is done. I hate to say that. I feel so bad for this guy, but this is a fast track, and aerodynamics matter, and his car is not very aerodynamic right now.
Another car not aerodynamic is the 81 of Adam Gilliland. Big right side damage to that machine. Right rear quarter panel damaged on that machine as well. A just almost a sickening feeling for the championship drivers. A good run off pit road for Brian Macklin there. A great pit stop for the 30 team. An even better one for the 90 team of Pedro Mojica. But man, oh man, what a heartbreak for Daniel Falkingham here in the season finale at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. My heart breaks for this kid, man. That's just a horrible way to lose it. And I'm going to have to agree with you on that point. I mean, there comes a time, I know you want to be competitive and you want to make your sponsors proud and all that good stuff, but Parker needs to understand that he's not racing for a championship. It would have been wise for him, especially at this point in the race with those old tires, to cut that guy some slack. You know what I'm saying? I just think that, I'm not trying to put anybody down here, Ben, or piss anybody off, but you got to think about those kind of things. They're on 33 lap old tires. You know you're loose. You've been loose for 5 laps now. He probably could have given that guy a little bit more room, and they wouldn't have gotten into what they got into.
Absolutely. Man, a wild moment there. Daniel Falkingham, a 2-time winner this season. Adam Gilliland, a 2-time winner this season. Both those drivers with heavy damage. Falkingham's pretty much out of this deal. Gilliland, we'll have to see what his car does when it's back up to speed. Driver in the catbird seat, John, is Brian Macklin in that number 30. He and Chad Coleman, they've got to hate it for their competitors, but in the same sense, they've got to love it for themselves and their team.
Absolutely. And there's only 2 of the championship 4 left at the moment, knock on wood, with undamaged cars. I hope I didn't just jinx somebody there saying that, but facts are facts, folks. You got 4 cars that came into this. 2 of them are heavily damaged now, more than likely. I would almost have to say 99. Look, Parker has apologized to Dan. Looks like he's taking the blame for that. So that's sportsmanship right there, folks. But as I was saying, they're the only 2 left, Ben, with no damage on their cars at the moment. And Comstock, we just lost the leader of the race.
Oh, my. He wasn't the leader anymore.
Back. Well, that's true, too. I'm sorry. Mojica, my bad.
Comstock has had
stuck back there in that wrecked lap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Comstock has had a problem on pit road, possibly speeding for the driver of the number 42, and he's had to drop all the way to the tail end of the longest line. How about that? And oh my, big moment.
Wow.
For Dave Comstock. He'll come back down pit road, most likely to top off, maybe throw some 4 fresher tires on that deal and try and work his way back through the field. But talk about a race-changing caution and moment here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, not only for the race, but for the championship battle. Daniel Falkingham will restart 24th. Mojica will lead us back to the green flag alongside Brian Macklin, Adam Gilliland, and Chad Coleman. So 3 of the top 4 inside the top 4. And I've got a feeling this restart is about to get a little wild as we are just past halfway here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere yet. If you've already placed your bets and you bet on Falkingham, well, sorry,
Oops.
Not your day here at Las Vegas. They still technically got a shot, but it's a long shot nonetheless. Here we go, set for a restart after a monumental moment of the season. In the season finale, the championship race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mojica and Macklin will lead us back to the green flag. There's 2 by 2 by 2. The green flag waves. We're back out and back racing here in Nevada.
Not a bad start from Mojica, but I'm tell you what, I'm not worried about Macklin at all. He's where he wants to be there, Ben. Middle to high, loves that outside groove. You give him about a lap, maybe 2 to get the tires warmed up, and he's going to be right there back on the bumper of Mojica. In the meantime, he's got his hands full down there from the car of Gilliland, it looks like, has snuck up in there and snack spot away from him, so put Gilliland to the lead of the championship chase.
Gilliland leads the championship right now. Doesn't look like that right side damage really affecting him. Scratch that on the front stretch. I don't know if Macklin got a good run or if it's the aerodynamics that allows him to catch up to the bumper of the 81. Does look like Gilliland has his hands full, at least for the time being, off of turn number 2. Macklin doing everything he can, though, to reel in that 81 as the championship fight ongoing. The top 3 right there, all tail to nose.
And just an update, folks. Josh Parker has retired his vehicle, taken it behind the garage, so we'll scratch up another one out of the race. And back up front, though, I'll tell you what, I'm watching Gilliland, and he's loose. I don't know if maybe it's that right rear damage, damaged that spoiler or something, but he's definitely working that car pretty hard in the cockpit there.
He certainly is, and we'll keep an eye on him over the course of this run. John, let's talk about the driver in 5th. Haven't mentioned him much of this race. It's Dwayne Vincent. Started 15th, has worked his way up to 5th. Another big mover, just a couple spots behind him. Tommy Ryan started 27th, up to 7th. And another big heavy hitter that started 20th and is up to 9th, had some success this season. That's Jordan Hightower. And he's always a threat if he gets close to the front of the field.
Yes, he is. Tell you what, Hightower we've talked about again across other series. He's a strong, good driver, fast, knows how to get around these tracks. So he's up in the top 10 now. You give him a chance, maybe a bold move on pit road with 2-tire stop or something like that. He could be up there fighting for the lead too.
Certainly could, as Phillips takes their way down the front straightaway. Macklin a good run off turn 4. He's on the bumper of Gilliland again. This is, again, not for the lead, but for the championship here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Pedro Majica has the lead, and he's looking pretty good as they work down the back straightaway. He's got 20 car lengths over the 81 machine as they work to turn number 3 and 4. It's Gilliland, Macklin, and Coleman. The 3 we're keeping our eye on. Here comes Macklin. Gilliland sideways off 4, and he'll lose the championship lead to the driver of the 30.
Just like that, it's swapped up once again. I don't know what's going on with Macklin, but he's not lost, but he's given up his high lane. I don't know if you noticed that last few laps down there in 3 and 4 where he was making it work so well for him. He sticks to it in 1 and 2, but watch, we'll see where it goes this time down through 3 and 4. But he's been down that low line the last few laps there, Ben.
Maybe in the low line is a little bit better for him on the fresher tires. We'll see over the course of the run if we see that 30 machine move up the racetrack. But a big moment there as Gilliland gets loose off of turn 4, surrenders the championship lead to Brian Macklin in the number 30 machine. And don't count out Chad Cole.
I was about to say, he's right there.
Right there for Chad Cole. He's looking to grab 2nd away in the championship standings from Adam Gilliland. What a season finale this has turned out to be. Drama aplenty here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. Chad Coleman, we kind of thought maybe something was wrong with his car earlier, Ben, when he lost all his spots and couldn't get any of them back. But here he is right now, top 4. He's got both of his competitors for the championship right in front of him. And I tell you what, he looks like he's got a stronger car right now than Gilliland does.
Coleman looking to the inside, and I apologize if I've called him Chad Cole. It's really, really hard in the same league when you deal with a Cole and a Coleman. Close call off turn 4 as Coleman now to the inside of Gilliland. Looks like Gilliland going to give him the spot for the time being. Major implications when Gilliland went to the grass there, John. He was one of the faster cars in the field, had a chance to win the race, chased down the leader at a couple points, tags the wall off turn 2 there, and this race continues to go downhill for that number 81 machine as he now sits 3rd in the championship standings, in jeopardy of falling outside of the top 5 in the race.
I've been there, Ben. It's so disheartening when something happens to you, well, your mistake or not, and shakes you up like that. One of 2 things is going to happen. You're going to get over it. You're going to get your breath back, get back in your rhythm, and Charlie Mike, or, which appears to be Gilliland's case, it's going to bother you and it's going to throw you off your game, and you're going to compound that mistake with more mistakes after it, and that just seems to be what's happening to Adam right now. And I'm not saying he's a horrible driver. Please don't misunderstand me, folks. That's not what I'm saying. I've been in that seat. It doesn't make you a horrible driver. It just makes you human.
Makes you human, makes you, a lot of emotions got to be flowing through that 81 Gilliland's mind right now. Frustration being one of them, upset and just determination. Another one trying to work his way back up through the field, and with a lot of emotions like that, John, it's real hard to get them all mixed up and put the wrong one at the wrong time, and he's sideways again off turn 4. That damage really taking effect on the number 81 of Gilliland, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's out of it as he's up the track again, dirt tracking it, slapping the quarter panel off off the safer bear. That's a trick out of a dirt late model playbook there, as Gilliland just continues to slip back. And wow, that car, he has got a handful. John, if he's able to keep it straight for the next until we pit again, I'll be surprised.
It's got to be that spoiler, Ben. He's definitely got a loss of traction back there on those back tires, and I'd bet money that it's that damage he's got to that right rear quarter panel, and that's unfortunate, man. He's doing a great job to keep that car going the right direction right now.
Certainly is. We saw the same thing with Justin Fuller earlier in the race, the guy that dominated the first 40 or so laps. By the way, Fuller sits 13th right now with the right side damage on his car. Hasn't been able to do much since the contact with the wall. Same deal with Gilliland. And Gilliland wasn't even really necessarily in that battle, John. He was just an innocent bystander, and that's the kind of thing that as a driver really pisses you off when it happens in front of you and you're just a victim of somebody else's mistake.
Absolutely, and I mean, he didn't make. Let me please, folks, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Gilliland didn't make the mistake that got him where he's at right now. Like Ben just said, he was trying to avoid the incident between Parker and my brain just locked up. Fockingham. Thank you, Ben. But but at that point in the race, they were on such old tires that any sudden movement on that wheel is going to upset the car, and that's what sent Adam down through the infield and unfortunately caused some damage to his car that is now just compounding those problems for him. But like I said, that guy is one hell of a wheelman because he's kept that damaged car for the most part going the right way there, Ben.
Ooh, he's real loose off of 4 there. Sideways to the tri-oval is Gilliland. Can he save it? He does. Good driving by Bobby Terrell to get off his rear quarter panel there and give him back a little bit of that air that he took away and give him a chance to save that machine. But Gilliland, he's dropping outside the top 10 here, John. Just a bad break for Gilliland, and it's another thing if you're up there challenging for a position, John, or even if the two Gilliland and Fockingham, if it would have been those two drivers that would have got together, it would have been a completely different story and storyline. But when it's one driver that's outside of the top 4 and really just racing at the end of a long run on old tires, sliding all around, and it really creates havoc for the championship 4, then it really changes the mood of the driver that gets involved in the incident. And I know one driver that's probably furious and fuming at the mouth is Daniel Fockingham. He's up to 15th, John, but that car just doesn't have any speed left in it after the contact.
That's right, and then barring I'm not even going to say what I was about to say, but you know what I was about to say. Barring something happening to somebody else on the track, he's out of the picture. I'm sorry, I'm not joking, but I really, after the luck these two, Gilliland and the Falk would have had, I don't want to say anything that's going to jinx the other two guys. But it's been a great race for this championship. But like you said, man, it's just heartbreaking and frustrating. And we got one down through the grass, right there beside Gilliland. Who is that? The 22
Looks to be
car?
the 22 of Hightower, and he's back up on the racetrack. We stay green here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, so Hightower takes a trip through the grass. Up front, though, John, man, I've been watching Chad Coleman over the past couple of laps. He was really closing in on Macklin there just a handful of laps ago. He kind of got a little loose off turn 4, tagged the apron down in 3 and 4, upset the car, but now he's back on the charge, and Coleman looking to close in on the rear bumper of that number 30. This is for the championship here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Just a handful of laps ago, John, these two were at the tail end of that championship battle. They were the ones fighting and clawing, trying to make their way up into the battle. Now they're the two ones on the racetrack about to go at it for the championship, and we'll see what becomes of this battle here at Las Vegas as we work lap number 88 of 110. We'll take our final break of the night and take you the rest of the way, all the way to the checkered flag. Macklin leads the championship battle. Mahika leads the race at Las Vegas. You're watching the Winter Cup Series on the Sim Racing Network. It's the season finale. We'll be back after this.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium,
Check.
formaldehyde,
Check.
arsenic.
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah.
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
A caution with 20 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Glenn Campbell, it was Jordan Hightower in the 22 getting up and into the wall, and Campbell really having nowhere to go. It involves the 44, the 62 of Wilco, the 10 of Dandonair, and the championship contender who has already had his fair share of problems tonight, Daniel Falkingham, goes around in this latest incident, just adding to the misery for that 39 team. And boy, he got pounded by Jonathan Lockhart and sent hard into the wall. So if his night wasn't done, it is definitely over now for Falkingham. After a spectacular season in the 39, we can pretty much officially say that he will not win this championship.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one, Ben. That's a heartbreaker. But in the meantime, we've got pit stops, and we've already seen pit stops bite a couple of guys in the butt. And I'd say, man, who just drove on?
So we'll wait for the field to make their pit stops here. Macklin
look at that.
gonna win the
Macklin,
race
yes, he
off
did.
pit road and take the lead away from Pedro Mahika, and that is a championship storyline there as well. Macklin going to have the lead of the race with under 20 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll get you a full field rundown. We'll finish those commercials that we started right before that caution. We'll be back from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This time we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag and watching the Winter Cup Series finale live on the Sim Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The lights go off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car, and a weird moment here, John.
I see that.
Chad Coleman is being forced to the outside, and he'll restart third. We've had that glitch here on iRacing where it kind of mixes up the lines, and this is the moment of the race and the moment in the championship where you do not want that to happen.
Not at all. I was just saying under break that he's got a good possibility here on a decent restart to get up there and challenge Macklin, but now he's stuck on the outside. He has not been good on the outside, Ben, and he's stuck behind Pedro Mojica, and we know what happens on these restarts. The guy that's on the outside always winds up lagging a little bit behind the leader because he can't see that leader go. That's going to hurt Coleman. I really think it is. I'm sorry to say that, but I think it is.
I've got to agree. And if that's an iRacing glitch right here could cost the driver of the number 20 a championship here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And if that's the case, I do believe a certain company in Massachusetts will be getting a call tomorrow morning from me. Nonetheless, though, it's the final 17 laps of this one. They'll stack them up 2 by 2. Green flag back in the air. Macklin leads us down into turn number 1. A good restart, though, from Mojica. One of the best from the second-place drivers all night long. Don't count out Tommy Ryan. He sits third. Chad Coleman back to 4th. Not what he needs as a contender for the championship off turn number 2. Coleman doing everything he can to get back up to the bumper of the 30.
Wow, did you see that move he just put on the 99? Comes swinging off high, cut it down low, turn it left to try and get underneath him going to 3 and 4, but going to wash up into him if he's not careful here.
We'd call that a kill crease crossover on the back straightaway, and really not working for the 20 down in 3 and 4. He'll try to make the move in 1 and 2. He sends it down into 1, trying to slide up in front of the 99. Can't quite get there, and Coleman is having to battle with the 99 of Tommy Ryan, and that's letting Brian Macklin get away and sail into a championship here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's got a little challenge from Mojica himself. That'll be for the race win.
I was gonna say, Ben, don't put this in his hands now. Mojica's right there trying to take that lead, and if they get together, my goodness, that would just be unbelievably crazy. My question is, if you're Tommy Ryan, oh, look at this, we got to fight for the lead now.
Now we do, and we'll get back to Ryan here in a second, but Macklin gonna say, go ahead, take it. I'm not gonna put up a fight. Scratch that. Down in 3 and 4. He gets the momentum up on the high side by side for the lead. And here comes Coleman. He's back in the mix. Tommy Ryan in the 99 chases down to 30. He's stalking him. Ryan not only wants to get by Macklin for second, but he wants to chase down Mojica for the win.
Absolutely, folks. This is literally what we call a race in a race right here. The 30 car of Macklin, the 20 car of Coleman, those are our championship contenders. They're also up there trying to fight for the lead with the 90 car and the 99 car. My gosh, you couldn't ask for a more exciting end of this season.
Oh, Macklin got loose. Almost puts the 99 of Ryan in the wall. Macklin, he tried the bottom in 3 and 4 there. Johnny stepped away from his usual line, and it hurt him down in 3 and 4. Now he's going to lose a position to Tommy Ryan if he's not careful, and Chad Coleman's in the mix right back in it as well. Here comes Coleman looking to get to the outside of the 30.
And Macklin, like you said, Ben, he is not in his comfort zone down there on that low line in 3 and 4. He hasn't been doing that a whole lot tonight. I don't see what he's going to do here. He doesn't have a choice. He's going to have to make it work somehow for himself.
12 laps to go. Mojica is pulling away, and Macklin doing everything he can to get that high line back away from Tommy Ryan. He's almost going to put him in the safer barrier. Ryan not giving up. He's going to fight back, and he's almost in the wall trying to get that top side away from the number 30 machine. Coleman is loving what he's seeing. He says, go after him, Tommy. Get that second position. Here comes Macklin. He sides up the racetrack. Almost contact between the two. Here comes Coleman. The championship battle heating up, and now they're tail to nose for a championship here at Las Vegas.
You got to think that Macklin's crew chief is screaming at him right now. Let the 99 go. Don't do this to us. You're fine. Stay in front of the 20. But look
Macklin.
Coleman touched it left.
Macklin got loose again, over in 2. He may be overdriving for the championship lead in 3. Coleman to the inside. He'll slide up the racetrack. These two are going to go at it tooth and nail and try and take home the championship here at Las Vegas. 10 more circuits around 15 miles in Nevada.
And here we had just written Coleman. Well, I'm sorry, we didn't write him off, but we said his chances were going to be rough on that restart because of where he wound up at. But look at this. He's right all over the bumper of the 30 of Macklin.
That he is as they work down into turn number 3. This time by it'll be 9 to go. Coleman trying every line on the racetrack. Macklin again down on that bottom. He is not good on the bottom in 3 and 4. It shows there. Coleman to the bumper. Down to the inside. Side by side again for the championship lead into turn number 1. Coleman's real good on the bottom in 1 and 2. He's been practicing that all race long. Getting clear to 30 off a 2 to the back straightaway. Coleman has the championship lead as they race to 3.
But I tell you what, he let Macklin have that outside line. We've seen Macklin so strong up there, and he does it once again right there. Powers out on the outside, but he doesn't get too
Macklin
far
got
ahead of
loose.
Coleman.
Macklin got loose. Coleman at the line is going to have the championship. If the race was over there, it would have gone to Coleman. Look at these guys racing for a championship. They've been going at it 12 races all season long in the Winter Cup Series, and it's come down to the final 8 laps here at Las Vegas. 7.5 now, down the back straightaway, and there's contact between the 2 and 3. Macklin loses a little bit of ground to the 20. Chad Coleman able to drive by and has the championship lead as they work down the front stretch. 7 to go at Las Vegas. Up front, Mahika he's pretty much gonna win this race.
Somebody else up front.
No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no real battle or challenge from behind for the driver of the 90. Tommy Ryan doing everything he can to chase back in. Whoa, a close call there for Tommy Ryan as they go down into turn number 3 with the lap machine. Chad Coleman, though, trying to pull away from the 30 machine. 6 to go. And here comes Macklin. Where did that run come from off turn 4 for the 30?
He does that, man. He's got such a great ability to produce these runs coming off 3 and 4. But look at that. Coleman sees him up there. He's going to take that outside line away from him. He's going to force Macklin down to try and cut it down to the left. He's going to lose a little bit of ground coming off of 2 right there, going back down the backstretch. If Coleman's smart, he's going to stay high and take that line away from Macklin just like that.
He stays to the middle, but he goes to the bottom, and here's where Macklin is going to take advantage of that. To the front straightaway. Good run off 4. You can tell Macklin is driving the wheels off that car. 5 to go in the championship fight in the season finale. You're watching it live right here on the Sim Racing Network. So glad you've tuned in. What a dogfight we're seeing. We thought it was going to come down to Macklin sideways again. We thought it was going to come down to Falkingham and Gilliland. Both of those 2 drivers involved in an incident around the midway point of this race has really set us up for a spectacular battle between these 2 drivers. Coleman, Macklin, Coleman almost in the wall. 4 to go at Vegas.
I tell you what, he got smart that time, Ben, down there through 3 and 4, and he took Macklin's line away from him, but it cost him. When he came off that exit of 4, he got loose, had to give up a little bit of throttle there to keep from spinning that car out. It's going to allow Macklin to get back up on his bumper, get down on the inside of it, but Macklin is not strong on the inside. Coleman just needs to keep doing what he's doing right there and take Macklin's outside line away from him.
All race long, Macklin has been better on the long runs. I don't know why he's going to the bottom here. I don't agree with it, but he does make up time on the 20. Macklin, don't let him get to the outside if you're Coleman. You got to protect the outside groove. Coleman doing everything he can to hold on. He won the championship in the FEG K&N Series a couple weeks ago, looking to get another championship here in the Winter Cup Series. Coleman trying to fend off a hard charge from the 30. Macklin has been better on the long runs. We'll see if Coleman can hold him off. For now, just 2 more laps. Macklin is sideways into the inside of the 20.
Inside's fine, but it's not going to do him any good down here in 1 2. We've already seen
Oh!
He
Macklin, there it is. He's lost the championship with that move right there. He tried to cut the apron, and that right there has secured the championship, I believe, for the 20 of Chad Coleman.
He can breathe now, Coleman can. He can take a deep breath, calm down, take his line the way he wants it through these turns. These last couple circuits right here, Ben, I think you're right. I think Macklin screwed himself out of a championship right there. And I said this earlier, not many drivers can handle that apron at Vegas, especially on tires that are more than 10 laps old.
My, oh my, why would you do it? You were in prime position to get to the inside. Pedro Mejica has the white flag. By the way, folks, he's leading this race. He's pulling away from Tommy Ryan. 1.1 second at the line last time by. through 3 and 4. Pedro Mejica, he's had a swell season himself. Didn't quite make it into the championship 4, but off turn number 4, almost lapping Daniel Falkingham. Pedro Mejica wins at Las Vegas. Chad Coleman wins the championship in the Winter Cup Series after a spectacular battle and a fun run there to the end, and a challenge there for Macklin as he is very upset with himself. He puts it into the inside wall immediately following the checkered flag. Frustration from the 30, frustration from Falkingham, frustration from Gilliland, and I think there's only 2 happy drivers at the finish of this thing. That's Pedro Mejica and Chad Coleman, the champ.
I didn't know
What a
it was
race.
Coleman because we're in the interview.
What a race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll not only talk to Pedro Mejica, we'll talk to the driver who, well, we really didn't mention most of the night, Tommy Ryan, who finished second, and we'll talk to the champion who finishes third, Chad Coleman. Going to burn him down on the front stretch along with Mejica after an exciting finish to this one at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Winter Cup Series finale at Las Vegas on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back with podium interviews.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium,
Check.
formaldehyde,
Check.
arsenic.
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway after a spectacular finish, a spectacular race here in the season finale. We're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to send John Mushton down to catch up with the driver who gained 25 positions in tonight's race. John, he finished second, just a little bit short behind Pedro Mejica there. He had a front row battle for just about everything all race long. Tommy Ryan is with our John Mushton.
That's right. I've caught up with Mr. Where the hell did he come from? Tommy Ryan. Tommy, buddy. I mean, you know, no offense, brother, but you weren't anywhere to be seen in the top 5, for most of that race. And then, boom, there you were at that last restart. Talk to us about your run, buddy.
I just tried to keep tires on it, man. It was really slick, and I felt like if you could take care of them for the first few laps, try not to burn them up, man. They do you some favors in the end, and we had some long runs there. So I just kept picking my way up through there, and it was pretty treacherous on the exits if you had a lot of wheel in it. So I just took care of my stuff. I didn't really put in a qualifying effort. I haven't been doing that lately. I've just been kind of chilling out and got motivated here. So it's fun, man. These guys, some of the best guys on online, man, and racing here. So it's a blast. You can trust guys. It's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. Ben and I have been saying that all season long, that you guys in Sim500 group are some of the best I've seen in my 20-plus years of sim racing, buddy. Well, congratulations on that run tonight. You got anybody you want to thank for your second-place run?
Yeah, man. Thanks for you guys for broadcasting that. I think that was kind of a surprise for SRN to hook us up here. And my primary coastal safety author is DJ Beverly. Unfortunately, he got taken out or took himself out, whatever, early on. Northern Tool and Equipment, longtime sponsor. So those are the guys keep me rolling. So I appreciate it.
Well, my friend, again, congratulations on a fantastic finish to the season finale. We look forward to seeing you turn some wheels and turn some heads later on in another series.
Yep, I'll be here all year long. So see you guys shortly.
10-4, and that, folks, is our second place runner. Tommy Ryan came out of nowhere, almost got himself a win, but just didn't have enough for our race winner. And if, Ben, you'll give me a couple of seconds, I'm going to jog down there to Victory Lane and catch up with Pedro Mojica, our race winner, in the Old School Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview.
Don't jog too fast, John. Mojica came into this race, started 10th. He had a perfect, well, not a perfect season, but had a great season and was close to some wins all season long. Came up short, but he's finally going to get it done here in the championship race, race number 10 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. John Mushkin, do believe he's made it down to Victory Lane now, and we'll see what the race winner has got to say after he had a pretty good front row seat to the championship battle there. He probably would have wished he would have been in it. Cars didn't shake up right for the driver of the 90 machine, but nonetheless, a good victory, a great victory here at Las Vegas tonight for Pedro Mojica, who's caught up with our John Mushkin in the old school designs and my goodness, Victory Lane interview at Las Vegas. Sorry, John, my brain is just going 90-0 after that one.
Well, I don't know, Ben. Let's see. You went down to Florida to do your USCS race stuff. You came home. You did a qualifying run today. You've had an hour and a half of sleep. I'll give you the tired syndrome there, buddy. That's right. I've caught up with Pedro Mojica in the 90 car, that Ford Fusion over here in Old School's Graphics and Designs Victory Lane. Pedro, man, your car was in beast mode the last half of this race. Congratulations on your win, my friend. I'm sorry it wasn't part of the championship run for you, but that was one hell of a way to finish off your season.
Yeah, no, for sure, John. Man, finally won in the Sunday series. We've been so close in pretty much all the races. It just either slow pit stop or something would just come up that would prevent me from having a chance at the win and having to settle for second or third or fourth or fifth. It seemed like every week. So yeah, I mean, it would have been fun to have been in that points battle. Some things didn't work out scheduling wise with work, so it was hard for me to make one of the chase races. So it was really unfortunate, but nonetheless, really fun race, fun group of guys to race with up front. Especially the championship guys, they were really fast, really all season. So congrats to those guys making it to the Final Four, and congrats to Chad Coleman on pulling it off and winning the championship.
Well, Pedro, I just got a comment, man. Your car looked like it really stepped up performance-wise the last half of that race after I think it was maybe the third restart. We found you up there in the top 5, and you didn't waste any time getting up to your lead, man. So at what point in the race did you feel like you had the winning car?
Really there, when I got the lead, the track, being out front was really key, really, in the end. In traffic, we were all pretty equal. But if you could get out front, the clean air on the front end of the car was bar none, really. I didn't like there at the middle stage of the race where I was out front. I didn't really feel like I was really pushing the car, unlike I was earlier in the race. So biggest thing I would say is just the track position is what helped me out. So I made sure there on the last restart that I try to get that back. So, and fortunately I was able to get it back. Macklin raced me really clean. There for the win, so I appreciate that from him. And yeah, once we got the lead, we set sail.
Well, again, my friend, congratulations on a strong victory tonight. You looked really good out there. We look forward to seeing you perform some more on the track, maybe for this next series coming up starting tomorrow night in the duels. That's Pedro Mojica, folks. Brought it home first place. He's in Victory Lane tonight celebrating this win. But I think our own Ben Kilcrease has caught up with our championship winning Chad Coleman. And I'm going to exit the Old School's Graphics and Designs of Victory Lane and give it over to Ben.
Thank you very much, John. Chad Coleman coming into tonight had a pretty a great season himself in the Winter Cup Series, and there were some points of the night where, Chad, you had to be thinking, man, I've got to do something drastic to get back into this thing. You fell outside the top 5 early on in the race, and boy, the two championship leaders at the time, Foggingham and Gilliland, get together on the front stretch, have a big moment there, and then the last restart there in the race with 20 to go, I do believe. The iRacing glitch lines you up on the outside. You had to be thinking at that moment too. You almost meet to a shark there to everybody behind you, but nonetheless, you fire off, you get going. Mahika challenges with Macklin. Ryan challenges with Macklin, and then that puts you in prime position to challenge with Macklin yourself, and you guys duked it out in a duel for the ages. One word to describe this race, what would it be?
Honestly, that was a lot of fun.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun for everybody involved, I do believe. Man, walk us through that race. Very, a lot of ups and downs, not only for you, but everybody inside the top 4. And right there at the end, man, you were there when it counted, and just, outdueled one of the best in the business, Brian Macklin, and here you are, another championship in Sim500.
Yeah, to start with, I hate that happened with Daniel and Adam, both of them super fast, really good guys to race with, and brawling with Macklin right there at the end, that was a lot of fun. When he slipped on the apron right there, that's the first time I figured, I was like, all right, I might have this. Let's just put in 2 or 3 laps and be good, and not mess up. Before that, though, it was 110%. We was just driving pretty much as hard as we could down there on the bottom, sliding off the corners on both ends, sliding, getting into the corner into 3, trying to clear him. It was really hard to pass on the bottom here tonight, and because the car would, after about 10 laps, the rear tires were going as much as the front. So yeah, that wasn't easy to get that pass done, and got to thank Macklin for racing me clean.
Pretty much secures it for you, Chad Coleman. Victorious, not in the race, but in the championship battle here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Chad, who do you want to thank for your run all season long, and especially here in the final race and for the championship tonight?
Give a shout out to Pedro for winning a race. Pedro ran a heck of a race. He's really good. He'd be a great addition to this deal if he could find some time off. And Tommy Ryan, that's why I drafted him my first round pick for next season's deal. And got to thank you guys with SRN for doing the broadcast, being with this league, all year and going into the next season. And everybody that's got anything to do with Sim500, thanks for the league. Everything's great. JD Laird, JDR Graphics, he was on the car all season with this car. He painted the cars ready for 2019. It wasn't ready for qualifying, so we got that out of the way. And I've got to say sorry to Glenn. Glenn is sponsoring a couple of us, actually the top 3 qualifiers for the Daytona race. And I may have misspoke and said the wrong name for our sponsor, but I got to thank Glenn Campbell and Transervice. Give a shout out to them for sponsoring us next year. We all 3 have great looking cars between me, Trey, and Josh Parker being kind of corporate teammates. But yeah, been a great season. Had a lot of fun. Looking forward to what we kick off here in the next week or 2.
The duels tomorrow night. You're already locked into the front row, though, for the race next Monday in the Trans-Service Cup Series. Chad, thanks for chatting with us, and congrats on your championship run here tonight at Las Vegas.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. Chad Coleman, the champ. And, boy, we're going to have to call him a multi-time champ, as he is just racking up the championships here in the off-season. John, out of the 10 races, he finished in the top 10, all 10 of those, 7 times in the top 5, and he led 0 laps all season long.
Oh, wow.
That goes to show you don't have to be up front. You don't have to lead. You don't have to win. But you have to be consistent to win the championships, and that's exactly what Chad Coleman did. He outdueled Brian Macklin here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway after some problems for Daniel Foggingham and some problems for Adam Gilliland in this race about the midway part of it. What a show, though, these guys put on here for us today, John, in Las Vegas. So glad that we broadcasted this season finale in the Winter Cup Series, and I'm really looking forward to get the Trans Service Cup Series kicked off tomorrow with the duels at Daytona.
I'll tell you what, Ben, if this, I believe, was one of my first Cup race broadcasts with you for the Sim500 guys, and if this is any indication of what we're in for with the Trans Service Cup Series coming up, you're in trouble, pal, because your voice is so unhappy right now.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not going to be on the microphone. I'll just be screaming inside the car.
You've abandoned me to go drive a car. I see how you are.
I'll try and make your voice as bad as mine as we get set to head out of Las Vegas. We thank everybody for tuning in to SRN's Triple Threat streaming service, streaming live to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks to everybody over at Sim500 and everybody behind the scenes here at the Sim Racing Network. For Aaron Grosskopf, John Mush, and I am Ben Kilcrease. We'll see you tomorrow night for the duels at Daytona and the Trans Service Cup Series. Congrats to Chad Coleman. Congrats to Pedro Mexico on the win tonight. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put the phone down. Good night from Las Vegas.